Well, well, well. What a fantastic week that we had. The last week of January was... it was crazy, wasn't it? What an amazing display of the free market versus the regulated market, and the games that get played. Oh my goodness. So I don't have much of an opinion on what happened, other than the fact that I applaud those who went ahead and made some good money last week. But I believe that the threats of the stock market being closed may put more liquidity into the Forex markets, as it has happened in the past. But I'm not going to get it really into that. That's the most fascinating thing that I've noticed in the last 7 days. Well, since the last time I did one of these. I'm going to do this every day, guys. I'm going to just set a time once a day. I'm just going to go through and do the daily chart so people get a sense of the direction of the markets as they are trading. I think that this is going to be helpful. You know, people have been enjoying this so far, so I'm going to continue doing it. It's been wild. It's been wild. Crazy. Okay, so we're going to use the Australian dollar as our benchmark currency this week. Excuse me. We're going to start with the pound Australian dollar. So as we can see here, let's just zoom in a little bit. Price chart. And we'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay. So as we can see, we did have a breakout on the Australian pound. The volume broke out right here, it looks like, yep. And you know, I don't have the Lux settings exact, so you know, don't judge me. But we did see a double bottom, and then the price broke out. The price went above my EMA, and the volume broke out with strength in the bulls. And so far it's been a pretty good run. Anybody that made a trade at that time, you know, 14, that would be well within reason. Very nice low drawdown up to right now. I don't even believe that, I don't even think that this pullback that occurred on Friday, or rather on Thursday, I don't even think that pullback would have got a stop loss triggered, like a trailing stop. So right now you'd be up about 300 pips over the last little while, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. No sign, no indication of it reversing yet. You know, having this long, if you want to go by candlestick formations and patterns and all that stuff, if you want to see how I trade, you'll see that I don't particularly care to go by all of that. But you know, you can see there's that pin, and now we're still going upwards. The bar from Friday continued going up, so there's no indication of it reversing yet. I am, over the long term, you know, who knows? But my indicators say that we are on an uptrend for the British pound Australian dollar. Let's go on to the Australian Canadian dollar. Oh, I wanted to quickly, sorry, on the pound Australian dollar, let's look at the 195 minute. So yeah, there was this here, there it is. So that volume coincided there, yep. And it continued upwards beautifully. Right now, we do have a breakout on the volume right here, but that's the first one, that first time it occurs against the cloud, so we don't take that. And it's a good thing, because look at that drawdown, would have destroyed us. We've got another breakout here, but the prior bar right there, yeah, so that's not bad, but what we're looking for is an actual clean oh wow, look at that. So yeah, so this was this week, right? So there's been a lot. You can see that this over the 28th and 29th, some whipsaw action here. So just zooming in, we can see that there's a little whipsaw action. So that tells me that this is the shift of liquidity happening. Let's just quickly check the Euro FX. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, tons of volume entered the market, and so we're still playing a lot with the volume that came in there during that time, I believe. Crazy. Fascinating to watch. I'm really excited about all this. I'm really excited about what's going to be happening in the coming days. But we don't see a strong indication of it actually coming back yet. This one isn't bad. That may have been an entry that I would lose on based on my trading strategy. Can't win them all. But I can also start to see that we may be having some consolidation form as a result of this last week. So yeah, we'll be watching for more there. Let's go on to Australian Canadian dollar on the daily. All right, so it's been consolidating for a while on the daily chart. We are still in that consolidation right here. So we would need to see it close. I personally would like to see it close outside of that before I determine whether or not on the daily chart that there is a trend, and look for confirmation. There is a nice big bar of volume going down. Strength is in the bears. And actually, technically, that is a closing outside, so we can start looking for an opportunity. Yeah, so we can start looking for an opportunity, I think. Oh, excuse me. It has been a crazy week. Yep. Okay, so that's the daily. Just exited consolidation. So on the 195, that consolidation also occurred in here on the 195, but then we would have broke out right in here, looking for another opportunity, and that would have been pretty nice. 166. Yeah, you would have had some profit there, and then coming back up again, that would have been the... Yeah, I probably wouldn't have taken this just because of the fact that the cloud is like really undecided after all this consolidation. I would have just been happy with that and waited for my next confirmed high or low. It did end up going higher than the 195 consolidation. And then here is where there would have been an entry. So on the 195, we could be seeing prolonged downward trend in the first hours of the week here. So possibly even, you know, Monday, Tuesday, continuing downtrend, just because we've got that nice, big, huge breakout of volume coinciding with a strong sell signal confirmation from Lux. One day I'll get that word beaten out of my head. And yeah, that's my impression on the 195, is that we've got a downward trend ahead of us for a bit. But hey, that's why we've got indicators to tell us, hey, no, you're wrong. So thank you, indicators. Next, let's go on to the Euro Australian dollar on the daily chart. Again, I'm not setting things up with Lux necessarily, so you know, take my commentary with a grain of salt there. Make sure that you do set up your charts with good settings. There is no perfect setting except for the one you create. So yeah, we've got that breakout that occurred there on that downward trend. This one as well, which was actually even better. Well, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, so this is the actual start of that trend. And then this is our confirmation right here. And then of course another one here. Another entry, this is a oh, right here, that is our another re-entry that worked out. So right now we could very well be on a reversal, but this is, oh no, here it is. So this is the first time on the daily chart. This is the first time that we had the volume breakout, strength in the bulls. We've got even DD index, which again, that's kind of like a third confirmation for me. We have all of that in place. Let's just see if I can get some better Lux settings optimized for a 1 day. Get to watch me do this. This could be interesting for some of you. I'm looking to minimize the number of confirmations between highs and lows, and I don't mind that. I might actually try to stick with 12 here and just bring down the agility instead. Yep, there we go. I like it. Okay, that's too much. Okay, so 12.18 on the daily. And the reason I did that was because I just wanted to see where we got the confirmation from Lux on this potential reversal. So the first one occurred right here, and then we had a second one occur right here. So this is kind of like that nice, beautiful confirmation that we've got a trend coming back. Yeah, so again, Thursday was a very active day. I just want to hide this for now. Thursday was a very active day, and so that's why we got that great big wick. And we are looking for, yeah, I would say that we're on the daily chart for this week. We're looking for buy opportunities. Let's check out the 195 to see if we got the same idea here. Yeah, so here's where we have that going against, and then the second confirmation right there. That would have been a nice little one. Yep, and even if you wanted to wait, you could take out almost a 3-to-1 there. And then we've got strong here with the volume breakout. That would have been all right because you're still within that cloud. Not certain that that would have been a full trade. You would have got partial profit on that. Yep, so we're good. We see the pattern is occurring, and right here we've got that big, nice, strong confirmation from Lux, and we've got the volume breakout, and it definitely delivered very well on that one. However, we can see that we had that pullback, and then here we don't see a breakout of the volume. So be cautious if you're going in on a long with the Euro Australian dollar. Be cautious because we don't see major confirmation. Again, here it is a breakout, right? It does close with the volume indicator above the breakout line, but prior to that, the volume is not in the dead zone. So that's not a confirmation in my mind. Also, those wicks are getting pretty long. Again, lots of liquidity entered the market over the last few days, so that can be what's happening. Next, let's go on to Australian Swiss franc. I think that's back in here. Yep, there it is. Australian Swiss franc. Oh yeah, so this one I remember we were looking at this potential downwards because we had that first one against the trend. And then we got the second one against the trend back on, was that Wednesday? 27th? So yeah, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. There's your second confirmation. So I think on the daily, we're going to be expecting to see some downward momentum. Again, we don't have the confirmation from Lux, but I'm not totally set up with it either. But that bar crossing below the EMA, volume breakout, got strength in the bears. Even the oscillator, that's showing good signs. The volatility, I'm not too concerned about it having 3 confirmations, 4 confirmations if you include DD, saying downward trend. So yeah, I'd be looking for sell opportunities there. 195 minute. Let's check this one out. If we see the same message, then we've got a pretty good idea. So there it is from the 21st. Let's go to the 27th here. There we go. there's our breakout on top of that strong confirmation from Lux. And great, yeah, great trade there. 5 to 1, looks like, something like that. 4 to 1 for sure. And then we've got a buy confirmation that is against the cloud, and so we wouldn't take it. A second breakout here against the cloud. So you might wait, wait to see on the 195. You might want to wait till you see an actual bearish confirmation that would continue this little start of a downward trend. But we definitely see some support. We definitely see on the 195, the idea of it going downwards has been, the idea that we got from the daily chart rather, has been supported by what we see in the 195. So now we go on to Australian yen. There we go. All right, so Australian yen, we've got the first breakout against the cloud there, and then the second one right here. Now there was a large wick there, so we might have had a loss. No, that would have been stayed within because our ATR times 1.5 would have had our stop loss above that point. So yeah, we would still be in the market if we were to take that second confirmation against the cloud. And I would say similar to what we were seeing in the Swiss franc, we can see this potentially going down for the next little while. Strength is in the bears. Today it's not. So Friday closed with strength in the bulls, but you're going to see some drawdown sometimes. Don't worry about it. Yeah, because that was the day of drawdown. But oscillators on your side to go downwards, and yeah, let's go check out the 195. So we actually have a cloud that's fairly thin. On the 195, some consolidation over the last, what is this, 5 days, 6 days, 9 days. So consolidation right now, it did break out of consolidation, and so the next opportunity would have been here going upwards. But if you take a look, the last thing we got was strength from the bears, and the oscillator starting to pinch off. So you might wait for one more confirmation on the 195 to say that you're going down to get a good entry point on the daily. But yeah, I'm not afraid to say that this is a downward trend that has started forming. And just wait for confirmation. Looking good though. Cool. And Australian New Zealand dollar. Is that in here again? Yes, it is. All right, daily. Oh, look at that. This week we got the breakout on the bearish volume. Ugh. The colors. There we go. Got breakout on the bearish volume right there. That's the first one. And so we would be, I would like to see a confirmation of this bearish trend. This could technically be a pullback because we have not broken below the previous low. So be mindful of the fact that even though we see lots of bearish volume here, it was the first. We are still in that first breakout period. So you could be seeing some pullback on the market for Australian dollar on the 195. We'll see where we're at, or sorry, on the daily. We'll see where we're at on the 195. Yeah, so there was a nice pulse here. This is a continuation downward already. So we've got that forming. Let's just go back to this here. Yeah. So this is formed a good solid foundation for a downward trend. You know, the continuation occurred on this strong confirmation, strengthen the bears on all our indicators. Yeah, so watch for that pullback though. This consolidation right here is minor. It's part of the, part of just that pulse. I tend to say that this would be a bearish trend that's going to be going on for a while, but wait for the confirmation. I know it's like, I love doing these, but I totally recognize that I'm not telling you what to trade. And there's a reason for that, obviously, disclaimers, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm always waiting for that next confirmation, right? This would have been a great entry. That would have been the entry. And that's why I think it's important that I do this every single day. So I'm going to set some time aside and do one of these videos every day so that we can catch these opportunities on the daily chart when they happen. Because yeah, that's where it would have been on the 195 for sure. Anyway, that is Australian New Zealand. Let's go to Australian USD. On the daily chart, we're at 20 minutes. Yeah. On the daily chart, Australian USD got the first breakout against the cloud right here. Okay, so take this into consideration. Australian USD is a more significant pair. It's, it's more significant because of its tie to the US dollar. Say what you want about the US dollar, it's still kind of the reserve currency by de facto. I don't have much faith in it, but it is what it is. Now, I just noticed. I'm weird. So this breakout here is the first one. Is that right? Did it actually break out? Yes, it did. So that was a breakout there of bearish volume. And then the second one here is better and definitely a good position to enter. Oh yeah. And so I'm seeing that downward momentum on the Australian dollar against the US dollar. So all these other ones where I've been like, yeah, maybe wait for confirmation. This could be your confirmation. It's going down against the US dollar on two confirmations with the bearish volume headed downwards. That gives it some pretty good weight. That gives the concept of a Australian dollar, like the Australian yen, the Australian New Zealand, that downward momentum, seeing it confirmed here on the daily chart on the second time, that gives us a pretty good indication that this can be downward trend for a while. 195, we've got that one there, which was beautiful. Oh yeah, 4-1, almost 4-1 there. This would be against the clouds. We're not taking that. So we actually have a breakout of volume on the bulls right there, inside a confirmation, a buy confirmation from Lux. So here I would prefer to see confirmation of the continued bearish trend on the 195. But again, this is very, very characteristic of US dollar pairs, where there's this pullback and almost like a double confirmation of a trend going up, but it ends up being, because the higher time frames obviously govern the lower time frames, that daily is indicative of saying that this is just a pullback. But hey, the market's always right, guys. I could be very, very wrong on all of this. And, technically about 40% of the time I am, if we take a look at my numbers. So that concludes this week's review for the first week of February. We've got all the Australian pairs against, or all the different currencies that I normally trade against the Australian dollar. I'm going to go and quickly jump into the US 30 and the German 30 as well, just because it's being requested a lot. I'm not gonna give you any advice on the daily. I don't trade the daily on the indices, so. But I mean, there's our confirmation against the cloud. It's the first one. Nope, it is the second one since the previous high. Double tops. So if you follow that kind of thinking, this could be a downward trend for a while. I mean, might not be though, because take a look at this, right? Double top. Volume, oh, the volume did not break out. Definitely showed some resistance here for a while, right? Like, you think about it. But closing below that point of what was used to be resistance, it's closed below that. So wait for confirmation. 195. Let's see where we're at. Nice, good connection with that one on the sell confirmation from Lux over the period of a few days. That one worked out really well. And then we've got, yeah, one going up there. That's kind of against the cloud because it's pinching off there. And then there's our next confirmation right there. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. A couple days basically. Well, a day, 20 hours. Here's where we have the breakout of volume going up. But again, that's against the cloud. You know, for you swing traders, if you caught this puppy, woo-wee, one day, 1,000 pips. Ooh, yeah. Let's go to the German 30. Now, there are people who do more than 1,000 pips in a day. I get that. But you know what I'm saying. On the 195, that's pretty darn good. All right, so yeah, this, I don't have the volume indicator on this one. Well, that's the 1 minute. Sorry, guys. I got some cool things happening for the German 30 on the 1 minute. So there's our first confirmation going down. There's our second one right there. So yeah, similar type of thing that we're seeing on the German 30 on the daily. 195, definitely good confirmation that we're on our downwards. Here's our continuation trade right there. Beautiful continuation confirmation. Beautiful. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all I'm going to cover for today. We went to 27 minutes. I would love to keep these under 20, but I also want to make sure that the content's good and is covering a wide spectrum. So if you have any questions or any requests, let me know. I'm going to be doing this once a day to make sure that I stay up to date, and maybe that'll help me speed up the reviews as well. And maybe I'll only deal with the ones that actually give me a confirmation at that time of the day. So, yeah. Everybody have a great week. Watch out for manipulation, especially after what happened. The banks are definitely trying to reorganize and figure out how to play a game where we are starting to almost have a kind of financial revolution. That's almost what happened last week. It's pretty funny. So they're reorganizing. Janet Yellen was said to be coming up with some new regulations because, well, yeah, Wall Street's got to win. So have a good day and a good week. See you guys later.